Guys, what's good? It's your boy Phil. Today we are talking about chapter 57, Record of Ragnarok, Shuumatsu no Valkyrie. Literally the day after I read the chapter, I'm coming at you guys in sequence, in fucking sequence. Very interesting chapter. I enjoyed this chapter a little bit. Not a little bit. I enjoyed it a lot. All right. The Kiyu was the name of the chapter, the demon who my boy Qin Shi Huang ended up defeating with no Volan. Yo, that's important. That's important. Maybe some of you guys glanced over that. My boy Qin Shi Huang fucking took out this demon barehanded. Barehanded fought him. No Volan, no weapon, no nothing. With his bare martial arts, took down a demon. So that's definitely something we have to talk about, something that's significant. A theme that's pretty new to Record of Ragnarok is these human beings doing cool stuff in, the otherworldly mythological areas that is in Record of Ragnarok, doing cool shit in their base form. We have Qin Shi Huang, who took down this demon in his little base form. We have Nostradamus, who destroyed the gate, right, to the underworld in his base form. No Volan there. So this is something that's pretty new to Record of Ragnarok, right? I can't think of any other time prior to these two that humans were doing crazy shit without Volans. So that's exciting. That is very exciting to see what's going to happen in the future when we get more human contestants. I feel like in the entirety of the series, humans have just been getting stronger and stronger. So maybe Brunhild is up to something, saving the strongest humans for last. I don't know. That's important. Another big thing I want to talk about in this video is Hades, right? Hades, because I see a lot of outcry there in discussion boards, on the Reddits, in the comment sections, everywhere. I see a lot of outcries saying, yo, what the hell gives with Hades, man? This guy is this Poseidon 2.0? Is this what the fight is going to be? Is it going to be Poseidon 2.0? I don't think so. Not necessarily. I don't think it's going to be. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, we have not seen like 2%, more than 2% of what Hades can dish out against Qin Shi Huang. We haven't seen any, darkness abilities, right? We haven't seen him use water abilities. Mind you, Poseidon didn't really use any water abilities either, but that's besides the point. I feel like we have not scratched the surface yet of what Hades can do. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Hades' abilities and what I expect for him to throw out. I'm still hoping for the army versus army war. The army of the dead versus my boy Qin Shi Huang's terracotta army. I'm still hoping for that. I really think that theory's fucking fire. I think that shit is sick. I really want to see that happen. But those are the two things I'm coming at you with in this video. I really want to talk about the two different fighting styles I'm expecting from this in this round, in round 7. So without further ado, let's do this shit. So let's talk about Qin really quick, because some of you might have thought this chapter was a sleeper chapter, and I could agree with you. Well, I don't, but I could see why you believe that. This chapter was a sleeper chapter. It wasn't, though. Let me tell you why. So one of the kind of hinted at, revealed things in this chapter was my boy Qin Shi Huang's fighting style, right? The 5 different fighting styles he has: the sword, the armor, the spear, the halberd, the crossbow, right? How he got that shit from Kiyu, how he used that shit to defeat him. That's his fighting style, right? That's not his Voland. His Voland is just the armor, and I don't think we've quite seen what his Voland is capable of. When he does the reflection ability, that's not his Voland. That's his fighting style, right? Which is very exciting because we still have 4 forms in the Voland we haven't seen yet. So that's going to be really cool. I think this chapter debunks the idea that his Voland is a Voland that changes forms, right? Similar to how Buddha's staff work, right? I don't think that's the case. If it was, this fight would literally be Buddha 2.0 versus Poseidon 2.0. And I think that's boring. I don't think we're going to have that. So I'm definitely thinking he's not going to have future sight with his eyes. We could talk about his eyes in a little bit. He's not going to have a different transforming Voland. I don't think that shit is happening. It'd just be copy and paste. Too much copy and paste. We already have a little bit of copy and paste. I don't think that's going to happen. So leads me to believe what the Voland is and what it's doing. And this is something I hinted at in my last Record of Ragnarok video when I was reading the chapter, is that we've had an increase over time in the entirety of Record of Ragnarok of more and more unique, wacky, out of the ordinary Volans getting introduced, right? We started off with basic Volans with, Lubu. Adam's Voland is his knuckles and shit, where his ability is really in his eyes. We've had those Volans are Volans I would classify as just buffs. Buff Volans. Because at the end of the day, that's what the purpose of the Voland is. The Voland's purpose is to put the human on a competitive field with the god they're fighting. So that's what those first maybe 3 Volans did. That's what they introduced. But then when we get to Jack the Ripper is really where we see the unique possibilities and power capabilities of these Volans. This dude makes glove Volans and he changes all these objects to be weapons to use against Hercules, right? That was crazy and really is the reason why this dude won the fight, right? Then we go to Raiden. His Voland allows him to maneuver his fucking muscles and his skin and his body like he's fucking Luffy, right? That was cool. He loses, but it was still cool. It wasn't necessarily just a buffing Voland. And then obviously we have the Buddha fight where Volans are kind of just thrown out of... I mean, technically there are 2 Volans, right? Technically Buddha's using a Voland and technically Zero's using a Voland, but it's kind of... It doesn't count, in my opinion. It doesn't make sense. So we're going to see this Voland either be a callback to the beginning Volans, right? Where it's just a pure buff of his abilities, right? Which is fine with me. If the armor allows him to use his 5 fighting styles more efficiently, that's fine by me. That's pretty cool. But I'd also wouldn't knock out the possibility of it being something really cool. I just don't know what it would be. Because it's kind of just armor. Armor's kind of boring, right? It's kind of boring. I don't know. His eyes, obviously, that's a big talking point. Last panel of the chapter, his eyes. A lot of people are saying he's probably blind. I could see that. For sure. I threw out the possibility that maybe he sacrificed his eyes for something. Maybe he sacrificed his eyes for, I don't know, the greater good of China, maybe? For the, I don't know. Sacrifice his eyes maybe to a demon. I mean, the cool thing about Qin Shi Huang and his backstory is that mythical creatures are fair game, right? He fought a demon, bro. So that's interesting. So I wouldn't knock out the idea that maybe he sacrificed his sight, or maybe he just got injured, or maybe he was born blind. Who knows? Is he even blind? Who knows? I mean, they're white, Byakugan type shit. I don't know. So it's interesting. We'll see what his eye ability is probably next chapter, if there is an eye ability. Maybe he's just blind. Who knows? I think it's cool. Whatever. He has the blindfold, so, there's that. That's really it. That's all I really had to say about Qin Shi Huang. Cool guy for sure. I'd say he probably, in terms of character who I want to win the fight, I definitely like Qin more as of right now. But there's a lot of deep lore and a lot of mythology and a lot of stories of Hades. And Hades is cool. He's edgy, obviously. I used to play him a lot in Smite. I'm a big fan of Hades. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I don't think we've scratched the surface of Hades. So let's talk about Hades. So we've had 2 combat chapters of round 7 so far, and they've been pretty cool so far, right? And there's a lot of speculation out there on what my boy Hades' main thing is gonna be, right? Is he just going to be a staff guy? Is he just gonna be swinging around his little trident, bident all over the place trying to hit my boy Qin? Because if that's the case, that'd be pretty boring. And that'd be some Poseidon 2.0 type shit. I don't think that's going to happen. I definitely understand why people are worried about that. Because it has been 2 chapters and that's all he's done so far. That's all he's done so far. I don't think that's going to be the case, though. I definitely think at some point in this fight, we're going to see necromancy. I really do. You know why? Because, remember, I said this when round 7 started, back in like chapter 55, whatever chapter it was. Remember, the stadium is Hades' domain, right? They changed this shit up to fit perfectly into Hades' favor. He has the home field advantage. I think that's significant. That is going to be so significant, and I would not be surprised if in one of these chapters, Hades gets like sent into the wall or some shit. He's bleeding out the brain or something, and this dude starts resurrecting fucking skeletons out of the ground. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. That is something I could definitely see happening, and something I think is gonna happen at some point for sure. But other abilities from Hades, besides, you know, the whole King of the Underworld death thing, I have a large-ass army, because both of these guys do have large-ass armies, and it would not, you know, surprise me if we see both of their armies in this fight. Besides that, he also has invisibility, and this isn't in Smite. I had to Google this shit. He has invisibility, right? Which I didn't know. I didn't know he had invisibility. He has a helmet. He gives it to Odysseus in one of the Greek tales, I guess, so that's cool. He has a helmet of invisibility. So I guess this might be an intrinsic ability they put in the manga, if it does end up that he does, you know, can use invisibility. I think this is something we could see for sure. It would definitely change. It would really change the scope of things, right? And this is something that I could probably see happening if Chin is blind and my boy Hades doesn't realize he's blind. My boy Hades goes invisible. Guess what? Doesn't even matter, bro, cause I'm blind. So that's something that's definitely cool. That's a parallel I could see happening. Maybe even next chapter, my boy Hades goes invisible. Who knows? Who knows? Those are two shouts that I'm definitely giving Hades, right? I don't know if we're gonna see any, you know, power of the darkness type shit, right? I don't know if we're gonna see any of that. I also don't know if we're gonna see water. I don't know if we're gonna see him use water abilities. That might be a stretch at this point. I'm definitely thinking the necromancy is gonna come into effect for sure. Maybe he throws a fucking Cerberus in there. Maybe he I don't know. At this point, it could be anything. I still think we're very early in this matchup for sure. Very early. We still have a long ways to go. And it's interesting. It's interesting to speculate. I speculated a long time ago before that. I wanted to know if Hades could use his underworldly powers to bring back contestants who have fallen in this fight so far. And if that's the case, if we see that happen, that would be absolutely insane. If we see a Raiden come out, if we see a Poseidon come out, that would be absolutely insane. I don't know if that's possible given the lore of the series and given the rules of the series so far. I'd have to read like the first chapter where they state the rules. But I wouldn't knock it. I wouldn't knock it for sure. Those are the things I'm expecting, though. Those are some things I'm definitely expecting. If you're worried, if Hades is your boy and you're really pulling for Hades in this fight, don't worry. My boy Hades has not even scratched the surface of what he's capable of. That's for damn sure. Even though I might be swaying towards the Chin side, Hades still needs to put some respect on, that's for sure. Guys, that's the video. Let me know down below. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Because there's a lot of mysteries regarding Chin's fighting style and Hades' fighting style. I believe that nothing of substance has even been revealed yet. So when we get these next coming combat chapters, get ready because they are gonna be a doozy. Guys, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.